Let me do a quick video on how to propagate some tomatoes. If you are growing some and you want to extend your season and get some more started, instead of going out and buying plants or starting some seed, come in here and find a sucker. Typically a sucker is going to be right in the crotch of where two limbs meet. This is the main vine. This is a branch coming off of it, and right in the middle you'll find that sucker. And you can pinch that off. Many people pinch that off anyway, just because they think it helps production, fruit production. It might. There's another sucker right in the crotch between the central vine, if you want to call it that, leader, whatever, and that branch. You got your sucker right here. So you can pinch those off. There's another one. Central vine, branch, sucker, right in the crotch there, right in the middle. Pinch those off. Now there's a good one. I'm going to get him. There's a good one right there. It's about 8 inches long. Right in the crotch of that. Maybe you can see, there you go. Pinch that off. I will go in and put that in water. I'm going to do 4 or 5 of them, or 10 or 15 of them, I don't know, a bunch of them. Put it in water. It will begin to root, and let me come over here and show you what they look like. Okay, these are some tomatoes that just like this was just a sucker that I took in the house, put it in a little glass of water, put all 4 of them in a glass of water. It took about a week. They rooted. You can see little white roots coming off of them. And as soon as I, saw a number of roots, I came out here and just put them in a little pot. And they are doing great. They've been in the pot for maybe a week. And they're about ready. In fact, I may put them in the raised bed today. That is a Reliance grape, red seedless grape that I did a good while ago. It struggled for a while, and I did 2 or 3 of them, and that's the only one that made it. But these are some that I just pulled straight off. I dipped them in some rooting hormone, Dip and Grow, and put them in these pots. As you can see, they are not doing that well. I think they're going to live, but they're not doing near as well as these. So my suggestion, take your suckers, pinch your suckers off of some existing plants, and put them in some water. Just stick 4 or 5 of them down in a glass. Keep it full of water. They'll absorb some. You'll have to add water to it, of course. And then they'll start getting some roots here. You don't have to dip them in any rooting hormone or anything like that. Just put them down in the water. They will begin to root, and when they get a pretty fair amount of roots coming off, then go ahead and pot them. And like I say, these are ready to go in the ground. So I don't see any reason this is not a good way to propagate your tomatoes. Instead of starting from seed, you want some fall tomatoes. It's going to be very difficult to get them germinate unless you start them inside, maybe with a grow light or something like that. It's just too hot probably to germinate outside. Well, it depends on where you are. Down here it is. But these again are ones that I just came straight off the tomato vine with some rooting hormone, put them down in here. Yeah, again, I think they'll survive, but they're struggling putting out some roots. They probably don't have, if I pull one of them up, they probably wouldn't have much of a root system at all yet. These develop a root system standing in water. That's the difference. I will stop and show you one more thing. Okay, these are tomatoes that I did a pretty good while ago. I planted 4, 2 made it. These came straight off the vine, straight into the raised bed garden. So, they struggled, but it was a lot cooler back then too. They've been in the ground for a month or more. We've had some tremendously hot weather, which is why the other ones back there may not have, are not doing as well, that I didn't put in water. But anyway, this is just proof that you can come straight off in the springtime, I would think, or in the cooler weather that some of you have up north right now. You can come straight off of the plant, just to pull a sucker off and go straight in the ground with it, and you know, hope for the best. Water them real well, hope for the best. These are 12, 14 inches tall. That's probably 18 inches tall. And this one here already has some blooms on it. So won't be long, and I'll be getting some starting a whole new crop of tomatoes, and they will be my fall crop. That is my wall of Kentucky Wonder pole beans. 6 foot, easily 6 foot tall. In fact, that leader right there is 8 feet. That's 8 feet or more. Just a beautiful wall of beans, and it is very, very hot. Way too hot for beans. But you can see it's just beautiful. Just a hedgerow of beans. I am watering the dog out of these things simply because it is too late for green beans. It is too hot for green beans. They ought to be dead, and they're not blooming yet. So I'm trying to keep them alive long enough for them to bloom and give me some green beans. Here's one here that's 9 feet tall. That's hanging down. Anyway, then I have transplanted some peppers that were struggling out in the other garden that is just clay, clay, clay. Even though I've mulched it well, it's just going to take a few years to really develop some good soil out there for the worms to get in it and start aerating and everything. And so I transplanted these, and I've watered them real well, and now they're taking hold real well, doing well. Some peas my brother-in-law gave me. It is a Golden Eye purple hull, Golden Eye cream, and they're starting to bloom. So I'm gonna start. In fact, I've got a few peas showing up, so we'll start getting some peas off those. Most of those, we'll fix a mess of them, but most of them are going to go for seed. I'll save those for seed because it's supposed to be a rare heirloom variety that was given to him by somebody that's kept them from grandma or whatever. Anyway, so Golden Eye cream, I've never heard of it, and they may be available everywhere for all I know. Anyway, but on the tomatoes, see, it's already starting to wilt, but get that dude in some water and you will begin to propagate some tomatoes and start all over again for your, I mean, don't just let your tomatoes sit there and die, okay? Go out there and pinch some off. And it doesn't have to be a sucker. You can, if you're through with the tomato plant, if it looks like it's done its thing, then go ahead and just take a pretty good branch off, stick it in some water. I did it inside. I think that might help simply because we have 98 to 100 degree temperature for the last month. I mean, it's just been the hottest June on record here in our part of Texas, and very little rainfall. So do something with your tomatoes and get you some fall tomatoes going, and get them rooted real well in some water. Put them in a pot. You probably could go straight to the ground, but I would say put them in a pot, and where you can water them real well and watch over them. I have got those in the shade simply because it is so hot, and that might be the thing to do if you're in a hot part of the country. Put them in shade in a pot after you've rooted them in water. And but anyway, I think that's it. We have gone long enough. Texas Prepper.